So looking at the part of the company where looking at the acquisition process, that was an exciting part of the life cycle of GoNabit. Can we talk about that? How did the
Yeah,
process start, and
sure.
did you approach them, or was it the other way around?
Yeah. It's a funny time, it was really kind of kicked off, I'd say, in I guess December of 2010. We're 10
And how long
now.
was it before you started? I mean, after you started the
So
company?
we launched our first deal in May of 2010, and in December of 2010, I got some advice from actually the Rabia, the CEO of Bait. And he said, look, when I started one of my businesses before, what I did is even though I was early on, I kind of reached out to the larger players and didn't say, look, come and buy me. I said, here I am, I'm on the map, I'm in this part of the world. If I ever scale up to a point, if you're ever looking to move in other parts of the world, we've started a conversation. And so it's kind of really what I did. I reached out to a few different people. And one reached out to me. So in the course of December, I had kind of like three different initial phone calls. We were in the process of looking to like raise some money. What really kind of quickly turned into by January, we had three term sheets for full or partial acquisition of our business, and so it was all a bit, you didn't really expect that to happen at that
Hmm.
time. Like, I'm not going to tell you, when we started the business, we expected, 7 months in or 8 months in to have, term sheets for acquisition. And I think a lot of it was we could tell an understandable story. We launched our business as a credit card based transaction business. And it was something that for people out, for guys in the US, for example, it's what they know. They know credit card transactions, right? They know when you talk about like scalability numbers, they know credit card. They understand like, if you talk about, okay, I take cash payments and these type of things, fine. You can tell the story around, it's a product of reaching the ecosystem and whatever. But for us, we were pure credit card at that point. It was an understandable story. We had very good like metrics against things like revenue per user, our
Hmm.
user acquisition costs and things. But I took a few flights. I went to a few different places in the States. We ended up in January with a few different offers. And then sounds great, seems easy, and then it's challenging. If I give you one thing and I said, do you want it or not? Sometimes it's a bit easier than if I give you three things and say, do you want them or not? And if you want one, which one do you want? And especially if they're very different, right?
Hmm.
And so I think that was one of the things for us that became challenging where, we, had to discuss a lot, like what was the best thing for us as a business? What was the best thing for us as shareholders? What was the best thing for us as staff? What was the best thing for us as managers in the business, that were going to stay with the business? Like, who did I want to keep working with? Um, and I think a lot of the way we went through that process really kind of indicated for us, again, and actually, like I was wearing three hats. I was wearing the hat of shareholder, I was wearing the hat of, manager of staff and staff person, and I was wearing the hat of like, chairman with responsibility to the other shareholders, right? And so those kind of three hats is that I actually felt like I needed to change them, because what might have been right, for me as a shareholder might have been, maybe not the best decision for me as the chairman of the company, and so, I mean, we went through that process, and eventually in February, we agreed to go the Living Social route, and a lot of it was the part of the process. So, my partner Sarb and I had been to the States in Washington D.C. to see them in December. A few other places I went. We went back in February. I basically said, look, you don't really know us that well. We don't know you that well. We're going to come out for a couple of days. Can you make some time for us? Kind of. They spent 2 full days, a couple hours with the CEO, a couple hours with the CTO, a couple sales managers, research manager, CRM, the legal team, the finance team. They really gave us a lot of time. They really exposed the business to us, and I guess, to their credit, got us excited about, being part of what they were doing, and kind of the vision they had. And so it's easy, it's the easy part, you get term sheets, it's pretty piece of cake, you look at all three of them, great, you can give me that one, and then we're 4 more months, I'm kidding, but, it's 4 more months of, lawyers and due diligence and, cause I'm not going to lie and say we were perfectly packaged up for a transaction. You have to do a lot of different things as a business. And we were also a Dubai company, a Lebanon company, Egypt company, Jordan company. We were a Cayman holding company. We had a Canadian subsidiary. So we were doing due diligence on 6 companies essentially at once. And so it's 6 times as expensive legally. It's 6 times, like I literally spent 50% of my time for 4 months doing the transaction, to the point where by the time it was done, people were like, aren't you excited? I'm actually like relieved that process is finished because it's exhausting. But like, good problems to have, not complaining. But it was I learned so much through that experience. It was excellent. It's frustrating at times. What you think is going to be finished in a week is finished in 2 more months, whatever. But look, it's good. It's all good problems to have. But